He's going to ignore us.
But I don't think we can hear him.
I'm glad we couldn't hear that. I could see what he was mouthing.
Yeah. His microphone is lit up, but I can't hear him. He's not. He's having some trouble.
Not very happy.
You can hear us though. I can see him laughing at us.
Yes. I don't know if Dave have the audio on or not. Nope, we still can't hear you, Dave.
Oh,
Can you hear
Pat,
me now?
Yep, we got
Yes.
it now.
Are we ready? Jeremy.
all right, then since we have Dave all in good shape here, we can,
I'm in good shape, I think. Hey, Nora.
I can call this meeting to order then. The Lafayette Park and Recreation regular meeting for September 21st, 2020 is called to order. First on our agenda is approval of minutes of the August 24th, 2020 regular park board meeting, to be noted the shortest ever.
I'll move.
Second.
Second. Any discussion? Hearing none. John, we're ready for our roll call.
Miss Corey,
Aye.
Mr. Mecklenburg,
Aye.
Mr. Metzger,
Aye.
and Mr. Denny.
Aye. That takes us to approval of claims. Approval of general fund claims in the amount of $455,725.45 and non-reverting funds in the amount of $27,702.43 for a total of $73,427.88. Do I have a motion for those approval?
So moved.
Did I hear 405,000 or 45,000?
Yes, Maury, you said 405,000 instead of 45,000.
Approval amount, the first amount should have been $45,725.45. That better, Matt?
Yes.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
okay. Ready for any questions? Hearing none, we're ready for the roll call vote. John?
Miss Corey,
Aye.
Mr. Mecklenburg,
Aye.
Mr. Metzger,
Aye.
Mr. Denny.
Aye. That will take us to the superintendent's report. Claudine?
Okay, well, first of all, I would like to introduce Stephen Preischel. He is are you our current president, Stephen?
I am. Yep.
Okay, Stephen's our current president of the Wabash Disc Golf Club, and he is a wonderful advocate for the sport in our community. And he is going to provide you with an update today on the sport of disc golf and how his user group utilizes our facilities. So, Steve, the floor is yours.
Thanks, guys. Thanks everybody for having me out here. I know I haven't come to talk to you guys for a couple of years, so this is probably a good time to jump back in. For anybody who isn't familiar with the Wabash Disc Golf Club and the kind of things that we do in town and with the Parks Department, we kind of handle a lot of the course maintenance. We run leagues and tournaments and all those kind of things in the Lafayette area. What I want to focus on mostly today is more the Mcallister Park disc golf complex, which it's so exciting to call it a disc golf complex now because there's 2 disc golf courses at Mcallister Park. But for anybody who is not familiar with Mcallister Park and what we've been doing out there, we'll give a little history on it first. So back in 2013, the ball golf course that was on 9th Street at what is now Mcallister Park closed. And I think that was like in February or something like that of 2019 or 2013. Well, then later in 2013, the disc golf club got together with the Parks Department and we put in a disc golf course that runs over some of the area where the ball golf course was. So that was in the summer of 2013. And then in the fall of 2013, we actually held our first tournament out there. And then over the next few years, there were some changes to the course, but it's roughly stayed about the same. And we've worked with the Parks Department as far as mowing and other maintenance projects and things for the course then. And then around 2016, it was around there that the course, the original course, which we call the washout waters course because of the ponds that the course plays around. Around 2016, that course was pretty well finished as far as the design of it. And it was around then that INDOT was going to be rebuilding the bridges across the Sagamore Parkway bridges across the Wabash, and there was concern that they were going to need to use some of the old ball golf course as a staging area for building the bridges. And so that concern made us worry about the original course going away at least for a couple of years while they built the bridge. And so there is an additional piece of property which is just south of where the ball golf course was, but still part of Mcallister Park. And it's a much more wooded area than the ball golf portion was. And I had been eyeing that piece of property up for a little bit. And well, when we got worried about the original course being used for a staging area, we started exploring this southern area a little bit more. Then it turned out that INDOT didn't need the golf course anyway, and so the new area kind of got put on hold. And another thing that had always been put on hold with the original course, the washout waters course, was we were always hesitant to put in tee signs or nice baskets or make tee pad upgrades or anything, because until 2017, it was unclear what the future of that property was going to be, like whether disc golf was going to stay there, whether something entirely different was going to be built. But I'm pretty sure it was 2017, the Parks Department said, I tell you what, for the next 10 years, we promise that the original disc golf course can stay, and you guys can also look at, put a disc golf course in this new area. And so over the last couple of years, we really began in earnest to make upgrades and improvements to the Mcallister Park courses. So through a variety of funding sources, everything from corporate sponsors to grant funding, club member donations, different fundraising events, the club has now turned the original washout waters course into, it went from being a very casual course for the first number of years it was there to being a top level professional quality course now. We invested nearly $15,000 in everything from new baskets to tee signs to the big project this year was we put in 36 concrete tee pads on the original course, and all this stuff is all paid for by fundraising by the club, and it's all been volunteer work to make all these things go into place. And we also, so we did all those projects to the original course, the washout waters course, and we also installed the new course just south of that, which we call the washout woods course because of the dense woods that it plays through. And over the next year or two, we plan to also invest in nicer baskets for that course, put in concrete tee pads on that place too, also put in signage and all the kinds of things that people who come to play disc golf at a course really expect to be there. It's been the addition of the second course at that same location has been such a huge benefit for visitors to Mcallister Park, to the club ourselves being able to host larger events all at one location. And the two courses being so different from one another, like one is in a densely wooded area, the new course, while the original course was on, basically where the ball golf course used to be. So it's fairly wide open, and disc golfers love nothing more than variety. So to have one course that focuses on distance shots and another course that focuses on tight lines and throwing your disc in a particular way, having two courses like that at the same location is a really rare thing. And I don't know how many of you go to Mcallister Park on any kind of regular basis, but if you go there now, like during the summer, the parking lot is packed every evening, and it's almost all disc golfers. There'll be 5 groups of players on each course out there now, and it's only getting more and more popular as we keep making more and more improvements to the courses. Talking about what the two courses at one place have done for the club, it's been great for our biggest tournament every year is called the Greater Lafayette Open, and that was just 2 weeks ago. And so the last year and this year were the first years that we were able to have two courses at the same location, and so players don't have to travel between courses, between rounds or anything. Everything happens all at the same place, and the players absolutely love that. And this year was the first year we ever sold out such a large event. We had 140 players from 5 states come to Mcallister Park to try their hand out at our two courses there, and it was excellent. We ended up with great weather, and it's just a fantastic spot for people to get together to golf. But so every year the park and the courses, they get better and better, and as we keep investing more and more time and resources into it, they'll just continue to get better. We've put in hundreds and hundreds of man hours out there to make it all happen, and so if anyone is interested in taking a look at the new courses or seeing the improvements that we've made to the original course, I can talk to Claudine. We can set up a time when people can come out, or if anybody just wants to meet at Mcallister Park sometime, just let me know. I'm happy to meet down there and take people for a walk around. And it's really becoming a great place. I know it's not the most popular park in town. It's kind of new, and there aren't a whole lot of amenities there other than the disc golf courses and the walking trails. But it's more and more popular all the time, and there's more and more people out there all the time, and it's so exciting to see all the people out playing, looking at I know I've spent literally hundreds of hours working out there, each year, making, building the courses and working on things and making improvements. And when I'm out there walking around and just see, I'll see 50 people out there playing disc golf, and they're all having a good time and using our parks. And it's amazing for me to see. So in conclusion, I want to just take a second to personally thank all of you and the entire Parks Department, not just for the hard work and the equipment and all the cooperation that you guys have offered me, but for me personally, I need to thank you for the opportunity and the freedom that you've given me to kind of build a disc golf complex out there. I know it's not something that all of you probably don't play disc golf, but it's been just such a huge benefit for the community and a huge upgrade to for not just the disc golf players, but the whole Mcallister Park area is just so much nicer now to take your dogs for a walk, or just be out there in general. It's if you had ever been to where the new South course is in the past and you go see it now, it's jaw dropping. You're gonna just die over the improvements. It's really excellent, and I couldn't be more proud of everything that we've done and all the improvements that we've made, and how far along disc golf has come in Lafayette in the last few years. It's really great. So, anybody questions or comments or anything?
I've thanked you before, Stephen. This is really great stuff. It benefits the whole community, and you're kind of doing something so the city doesn't have to. And so I'm wondering, Samantha, especially, how do we coordinate marketing? This is almost like sort of ribbon cutting or something on something, a major improvement to one of our parks. Does this get? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I would think for as far as like a ribbon cutting kind of thing goes, I would wait another year until we get the concrete tee pads on the new
Okay.
course and get some nicer baskets out there. And then at that point, both of the courses will be at a point where we're ready to say, okay, now it's ready for, for championship level events.
Awesome. Still, it would be nice maybe just to think about getting something out on social media or
Yeah.
something, right? So
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I know I talked with Samantha a little bit before Greater Lafayette Open, and she got in touch with TV18 about coming out to do a story about the tournament, and that ended up not happening. And they've been out, for some of our tournaments, and other ones, they haven't made it for. And I understand that disc golf tournaments maybe don't rank that highly on the news forecast, but I appreciate them getting in touch, and we are always happy to to get in contact with the TV18 or the newspaper or whoever in town. We're always happy to accommodate.
And I just
Thank you.
say that Stephen and I have been in touch, and we will continue to communicate with one another about upcoming events. And he's been great so far about keeping me in the know of what's going on. So we'll definitely work together to make sure that we're getting the word out.
awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you.
It's really been it's been a hard year for everybody, obviously, but if there's a bright side from the disc golf perspective, disc golf is one of the few things that has more or less stayed, at least casual play has stayed available for pretty much throughout the the entire the coronavirus pandemic. And while it has greatly affected tournament play, and it's affected league play and those kind of things that we simply couldn't do for a few months, it didn't stop people from being able to go out and play casually and recreationally. And the number of new players that we have in our club now, and I'm sure it's not just because of the COVID situation, but I know that's been a big factor. I know the local disc golf store in town said their business has just skyrocketed as people have kind of moved to a thing that they can continue to do to be active throughout COVID. And you can go out with just my wife and I will go out and play, and it's just the two of us, and it's easy to stay socially distant from from everybody else. So it's been not to call it a positive thing, but it's definitely increased the number of disc golfers in town.
Well, thank you very much, Steve. I would echo Pat's excellent remarks. We're just so pleased and so fortunate to have you in our community to do something like this, and thank you very much. And I would say golf, because I know every golf course in town is just this year has just been phenomenal, and it's being able to go outside and having activities, and that is so important that you can social distance. So thank you very much.
Yeah, it's really been nothing but a pleasure. It's been wonderful being able to design and install disc golf courses, and the support we get from the Parks Department is just great. Just everything from equipment that we might need, or providing garbage cans and things for events or whatever. Just I deal with a lot of, or I talk to a lot of other people who are kind of the Steve of their local club, and the number of people I hear who have to fight with their Parks Department for every little thing, and any improvement they want to make, everything becomes a headache. And people are so jealous of us and our relationship with you guys that we're able to do those kind of improvements. We're able to do those kind of things for the community. And there's a lot of the Parks Department, you guys just kind of say, okay, Steve, you do this, just take care of it. We're going to trust you. And I can't express how much I appreciate that trust and that commitment to letting the disc golf club kind of handle a lot of those things that maybe the Parks Department just isn't that familiar with, because if you're not a disc golfer, how would you go about figuring out how to design a disc golf course, or where do you buy top quality baskets, or all those kind of things that it's just been it's been wonderful for me to do, and it's been great. I hope to keep up with it for a long time.
Oh, Well, that's
So I have
great.
to ask,
Go ahead, Pat.
I was going to ask a dumb question. And over your right shoulder, is that a?
That is a disc golf basket. Yes, it is. And
Oh,
it's
there you
not
go.
accidental. I like moved it over so it would be like
Okay.
right.
Awesome. Now we know what it looks like. Thank you.
Yep. So if you're not familiar, disc golf, it works just like ball golf, except instead of trying to hit a ball into the hole in as few shots as you can, you're trying to throw these. Let me find one. Hang on. So you're trying to throw these kind of specialized frisbees into one of these things. So, so people who are really good at it can throw these things over 500 feet. And like 2 football fields, they're throwing them. And not only are they throwing them that far, but they're making them curve through all the trees and stuff like on the way. And not only can they throw them really far, but they'll throw them where they roll along the ground. And like, people who know what they're doing can do unbelievable things with them. It's so entertaining. It's so much fun. And like I found it to be a lot more approachable than ball golf. Like I find it to be like kind of everybody's thrown a frisbee in their life. So even the first time you go out, like it's fun to throw a frisbee in the woods. So even when you're bad at it, like it's still a lot of fun. But once you kind of get the hang of it a little bit, and I'm sure it's kind of like any sport, once you get a little bit good at it, you realize like how many neat things there are that you can do. And disc golf is no exception. Like people who are good at it can do absolutely remarkable things with a frisbee.
You can take one more shot, Steve.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Two.
That's all there is to it is trying to hit the chains like that, and it knocks it down into the basket, and that's the whole
awesome.
idea. But obviously this is pretty close. It's so if I missed one from here, I'd feel pretty bad. But I've gotten a handful of hole-in-ones, and that's throwing holes that are 200 some feet away. So it's definitely doable even for mediocre players like me.
Oh, well, Steve, we certainly appreciate your enthusiasm and your passion and
Thanks,
all the
guys.
hard work that you and your group has put in to make a difference in Lafayette. So thank you. And thanks for your time today.
You bet. Thanks, Flooding. And definitely let's put together a time when people can come out and we can take a walk around. We can probably come up with some golf carts or whatever for anybody who, who isn't able to walk around, and we can go check out the area, because I think you'll absolutely not believe what the place looks like now. It's just wonderful.
It's pretty awesome. Thanks,
Yeah.
Steve.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay, now we'll hear from Samantha. She's going to provide us with a marketing update.
Sure. So I just wanted to start by saying thank you to everyone who was such an integral part of our special August 24th meeting at Loeb Stadium. We were really happy with the turnout of that event, and we were able to secure some great press placements following that event. We were able to place stories in WLFI, Star City News, the Journal and Courier, and the Indianapolis Star. So very exciting stuff. And I just kind of wanted to go through a few updates. We recently started a brand new e-newsletter for our Litter-Free Lafayette sponsors. Our first newsletter went out on Tuesday, September 8th. We are really proud with the growth that we have seen in the Litter-Free Lafayette program. We are pretty regularly taking on new sponsors, so we're really excited, and we think that this newsletter will be a great way to help keep those sponsors engaged. Neil and I met with filmmakers hired by the Greater Lafayette Commerce to create a video to promote the quality of life in Greater Lafayette to potential companies who are considering putting down roots in the area. The filmmakers filmed a few scenes at the zoo the week of August 24th, and we will be notified once there is a finished product that we are able. I also wanted to share that Bridget Harrow has officially transitioned from our seasonal marketing assistant to our part-time marketing assistant. So she is in the office 20 hours a week. She is doing a great job, and we are keeping her very busy. And we are working on transitioning some of her social media tasks over to 2 remote interns who have just started this week. Our goal is to have transition that stuff over to them so that Bridget can help focus more on sponsorship and some fund development work surrounding some of our major projects. So it'll be great to have her support with some of that.
And I just wanted to interject that those interns are actually unpaid Purdue students. So we're capitalizing, thanks, Jeremy. We're capitalizing on our local resources.
Yes, we are. And they are both very enthusiastic, and I'm really excited to have them on board. I have been working with the Mcallister team to come up with some creative event ideas to make up for some lost revenue due to COVID-19. We have some ideas, and we also have some interested sponsors. So hopefully we will be able to pull off some fun and safe community events later this fall. And I also just wanted to share that because some of our sports programming through Mcallister Recreation Center was canceled due to COVID-19, we will be posting some short sports how-to videos for kids. And this will just kind of help to fill in some of those, some of that programming that we're missing out on. Tyler filmed a couple of quick how-to football videos with the Jeff High School football coach this weekend. And our goal is to work with some other coaches and experts in the area to have a variety of sports included. And then the plan would be to put these out a week at a time as kind of a themed week. So one week we'll focus on football how-tos, and then another week maybe we'll focus on volleyball how-tos. So this is just kind of a fun thing that we're going to try to do to get some more engagement. And you know, everybody's staying at home, but we can still be active while we're at home. So that's what we're going to try to work towards. And I think that's all that I have.
Okay, thanks, Samantha. Does anybody have any questions for Samantha? Okay, next up is Neil, who's going to give us a report on the Zoo Run Run.
Hi, everybody. Hard to follow those two. Next time I'm bringing the llama into my office, and it's going to stand behind me. I'm going to show everybody up. So we ended the virtual zoo run with 195 participants. After you take that, and we had 5 cash sponsors, with Duke Energy being the presenting sponsor. And then we also had some in-kind sponsorships. After you take away the price that we paid Momentum Event Management to manage the virtual run, as well as Freckles for the t-shirts, we ended up with an overall profit of just under $4,200, which I think is pretty good given the circumstances this year. We also had an additional just under $500 in donations on the Zoo Run website, which I thought was also good. People gave above and beyond their actual registration for the race. I met with Kara and Samantha this morning. We're working on a plan for just Boo at the Zoo. We want it to still happen this year. I've been working with people from the Tippecanoe County Health Department, and I presented a proposal to Claudine and the mayor a little over a week ago, which was approved. We're doing some fine tuning on that now. Obviously, it will have to be a lot different this year. It won't be the carnival type atmosphere that it's been in the past, but we are going to open the zoo up for 2 weekends in late October, the 16th to the 18th and the 23rd to the 25th. It'll be a daytime event. The grounds will be decorated for Halloween. We're doing some Halloween type enrichments for the animals, and have a few hands-off activities for kids to present in. We've already got some candy sponsors, so we'll be putting together some treat bags for kids to be able to take as they exit the grounds. So I think the staff they were pretty excited that we're going to at least be able to keep it going in some manner this year. We didn't have to cancel completely, so we're working on planning for that right now.
Okay, thanks, Neil. Did anybody have any questions for Neil? Okay, Next, I'd like to give you just a brief update on the penguin exhibit and where we are there. So the penguin exhibit is operating without penguins right now. And this has given Neil some time and along with his crew to work through the filtration system and be prepared. We are waiting on a final approval for amended permit so we can actually acquire the penguins. So hopefully that will be coming very soon. So Dave can be there with his little flag at the airport waiting for our little friends.
I was kind of hoping Neil would give that report so I could talk to Neil about it.
Well, I'm working in the construction right now, so that's just top of my list. Neil can give the report next time, Dave. So.
That means it's done. That's why I was only hoping Neil would give it, because I knew it would be done then.
Yeah, Well, you're not going to be standing there with your little flag at the airport now, are you? Okay, so we're going to go on to the next one, which is Carousel Construction. If you haven't been by a walk in Columbian Park, you might want to do that because everything is changing dramatically. And they've been busy pouring the concrete pathway around the carousel structure. And then hopefully by the end of this month, if all goes according to plan, we'll start seeing some of the steel arrive for the shelter structure that they'll begin putting up in October. So we're pretty excited about that progress. Memorial Island, a lot of changes are going on there right now. The parking lot to the north of Rush Pavilion looks very, very different. They started pouring the curbs and actually finished a section of the sidewalk over the weekend. So a lot is happening there. And the pier that will accommodate the paddle boats over by the train depot certainly is taking shape, and you can definitively see it as a pier, as is the boardwalk around the expanded island. I mean, you can definitely see where the ADA fishing nodes are going to be. Those are the little rounded bump outs. So it's really taking shape and looking really good. And then I'm going to ask John to go ahead and provide a Loeb Stadium project update.
Work continues inside all of the different buildings at Loeb, both the visitors and home locker room, the storage facility, on the suite and press level inside. Concrete is being poured. They're about halfway through on the concourse area, which at the last board meeting that was held at Loeb Stadium, that area was still stone, but it's starting to become concrete. And we're getting ready to move into the really exciting phases. The playing field is cleared of equipment now and has been compacted with stone. So the process of preparing that for the turf will begin, and the turf will be arriving sometime within the next 2 or 3 weeks to actually start going down. So that's really exciting. If you see some of the pictures on that we published on social media, you can see the stadium starting to really take shape. The other exciting part is today they started to dig the footers for the foundation for the video board in left center field. So you can see that last week, in the last 2 weeks, they dug the footers and installed the flag poles out there in left center field. So if you're standing home plate, just to the right of the flag poles is where the video board is going to go. So a lot of the the bells and whistles, so to speak, of the stadium are now starting that work. So it's really exciting to see that starting to take shape.
Hey, John.
Thanks, John.
Yes.
John, do you know when the lights are going to be tested?
Well, I believe they have not connected them yet. I know that in the last couple of weeks they were working to get the permanent power, the pad over there along the first base side installed, and get power connected to that. So once that is done, we'll be closer to having those lights turned on and tested. I believe it's scheduled for sometime next month, but I'll double check the schedule and with Kettlehut and find out when that is scheduled to happen.
Yeah, I couldn't remember when I went over there the last time and visited. I couldn't remember if he said it was going to be late September, early October. I don't know.
When I spoke to him, we were there a couple weeks ago, looking at we were actually talking about that, and I believe it's sometime in October. It should coordinate about the same time that the turf starts to go down.
Yeah.
That should be done and ready to go.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, that's going to conclude my report for today.
Well, then we have communications. Any communications from the board? Hearing none. I don't have any public, so written communications.
We did have one written communication we received last week, and I did send a copy of that letter to all the members of the park board. We received a letter from the Lafayette American Legion Post 11 Baseball Committee regarding Loeb Stadium. And I did send that to all the board members for their review, and we will include a copy of that letter in the record of the meeting.
Yeah, and I would just say to the board members, I'm in the process of replying to that letter. John and I are on our second draft, I think, and I know Claudine hadn't had time to look at it. And after we get that completed, I will send that to each one of the board members to see how I'm going to respond to it, so that you can make any comments or changes that you'd like to. And then when I send it out, I will copy that to John so that then it will become a record in our meeting at the next time. So.
And that was the only written communication that we had.
Okay. Any other discussions before we adjourn then?
Just a thanks to you and Maury for working on that.
Thank you. All those, well, I guess we need to have a motion for adjournment then.
So moved.
Second,
Second,
John?
Ms. Corey,
aye.
Mr. Mecklenburg,
Aye.
Mr. Metzger,
Aye.
and Mr. Denny.
Aye.